Hey everyone, it's me Johnny Cage here. Today I'm going to show you guys how to get Baa'l, the secret combat pet that was added in Battle for Azeroth. Obtaining Baa'l is required in order to get the Waste of Time, which is probably why you're here. Keep in mind, in order to remove Baa'l's boss buff that he has when you first find him, you need a fully empowered and world toured Una. If you do not have Una, or you do and she's not fully empowered and world tour, check the video description for my guide on how to get her. If you don't feel like doing that, you can bring someone who does have a fully empowered and world toured Una. However, they need to be on the same exact step of the Baa'l questline in order to help you. If they cannot see Baa'l, they cannot help you. Now with all that out of the way, let's get started. Obtaining Baa'l starts by finding a note in Nazmir, clicking on a stone in the Broken Shore, and then finding 12 inconspicuous other stones scattered across Kultiris and Zandalar. To find that note, you want to start at the coordinates 4654, and then you want to cross the bridge over into the Heart of Darkness. This bridge goes to the top of the pyramid, and you'll see Talok, the first raid boss in Uldir, at the top of the pyramid. Once you cross the bridge, you want to look to the left, and you're going to see a little piece of the structure jutting out, and there's going to be a note on top of it. The easiest way to get this note is using a goblin glider. You're going to need a bunch of these for this hidden quest line, so stock up. Using a goblin glider, just jump off the side of the pyramid, click the glider, and then steer yourself into the pyramid. This way you kind of just float down, and then you land and the glider goes away. Right-click the note, and the note reads, "Begin at the beginning." So if you did the Cosmoth the Hungering questline in order to get the Fathom Dweller underwater mount, you should know where this is pointing you to. So use your Dalaran Heartstone, go back to Legion Dalaran, and then head for the Broken Shore. If you have Legion Flying, this is a lot easier, but none of this requires Legion Flying. Just, like I said, a little bit easier. So I sped up the footage here. This is where you want to go. The coordinates are 3771, and this is for Drak'thul's little hideout. Drak'thul is a bit of a pain. Sometimes he is just working at this table like I'm showing you now, and you can't click the pebble that's on the table. So all you have to do is just wait or come back later, and then he will eventually move. So clicking the pebble brings up the dialogue, an ordinary pebble, unremarkable in every way. And this is where things get started. So first place we want to go is Hook Point in Boralus. The coordinates are /way Boralus 4940. If you're a Horde player, this might be a little bit difficult, but it's not really in the city proper. But just use those coordinates and head to that spot, and you'll see a net that you can walk through. And that leads you to an underground cave, and the pebble is somewhat towards the back. The coordinates are right near my map if you need, but right-click the pebble, and from here on out, you will not get any dialogues when you click each pebble. They will simply become unclickable, and that's it. The next one is actually my favorite one. So this is right near the entrance to Atal'Dazar in Zandalar. If you're an Alliance player, I'm not sure if Horde has a flight path here, but if you're an Alliance player and you have this outpost unlocked, it's really easy. You want to go to the uninstanced version of this dungeon, and all you gotta do is just walk to the right of the portal, and then follow this path that I'm showing you. I've sped up the footage because it takes a while to do, but be very careful not to fall into that garden. If you do, you have to hearth out. There's no other way, or use a Flight Master's Whistle. You can't actually escape it. So you want to practice your wall walking like I just showed you. It's kind of hard, but just keep spamming jump and moving forward. If you find yourself not making any progress, dismount and do it unmounted. And then once you get to this spot, just jump off, use a goblin glider, and glide into these trees. I suggest gliding to the one closest to the mountain. I'll slow down the footage here. And then there's a hidden cave here. So, once the glider runs out and you touch the ground, go into the cave, and then there's another ordinary pebble to the left of this pillar that I'm showing you. Yep, there you go. Just find it, right-click it, and then you're on to the next one. So for this next one, the easiest place to start is Aram Strand in Drustvar. If you're a Horde player, I'm not exactly sure where you want to go, but the coordinates are 3653 in Drustvar. So, these mobs probably won't aggro to you. If they do, they're not really going to pose much of a threat. But you want to go near this waterfall and just follow this path that I'm on, and then you want to jump into this waterfall basin here, basically like the second level of the waterfall, and there's a cave hidden back there. Easiest way to do that is just keep jumping on the rocks until you get yourself caught, and then just jump into the cave. The pebble that you're looking for here is in this wicker man, this little effigy, I think they call it, or something like that. And it's in his right eye socket. So just walk up to the effigy and then just right-click the eye, and that's your pebble. So I experienced a little bit of lag here actually, so that's why it took a while. If you are playing with war mode off, you're going to experience some lag. So this next one is near Tortaka Refuge in Nazmir again, I believe. No, this is Vul'dun, sorry. This is in Vul'dun. The coordinates are 63.16, 21.35, and inside this cave is a clatterback. This thing will one-shot you, so be very careful not to aggro it. However, the pebble you need is not exactly near it. It's just near the entrance. I just kind of paused here to make sure I wasn't getting aggroed. It's easier to see it in first person, or at least unmounted, but the pebble you need is right here. It's right behind another rock, so just right-click it, and then you're off to the next one. So where you want to go after this is actually in Stormsong Valley. The coordinates here are 6512. That's where you want to go. It's a hidden cave on this island off the coast. There's multiple entrances, but the easiest entrance to get to is 6512, and it's right behind these trees. There are some mobs in here. They're not terribly difficult, but they do enrage, and they are kind of strong, so if DPS isn't your main spec, you might have some difficulty, but you just pop some cooldowns and you're fine. There's also a treasure chest in here, so if, get yourself some resources and some vendor stuff. And then the pebble is in this room in the center of the cave in the smaller wheelbarrow. You find it right there. Just right-click it, you'll get it. So this next one is probably the hardest one. You want to start at the coordinates of 4815 in Nazmir, and you want some sort of way to walk on water. So for your Death Knight, just use water walking. I think shamans have that as well. Having a water strider is the easiest way to do that. So if you don't have that, unfortunately, you're probably going to want to grind for one. But go to the coordinates 54-7 and then go underwater. You want a way to move very fast underwater, either with an underwater mount or the Feast of the Fishes or the Dark Water Potion to transform into a Jinyu. But you want to click that pebble, the second from the left, and then you'll get that. That is the hardest one to get. That will take you the longest. I died a bunch of times trying to get it. So the next one is in Boralus again, near the Hedge maze. If you're a Horde player, you may want to use an invisibility potion or something. I'm not really sure how these mobs interact with Horde players. But the pebble you want is right behind this barrel. The starting point for this is coordinates 3780 in Boralus, and the easiest way to do it is to just go into the Hedge maze and follow the left path, and then walk behind the tree. And that's pretty much it. So the next one we're doing is right off the coast of Drustvar, near the lighthouse. This area is called Western Watch. Again, as a Horde player, I'm not really sure how these guys are going to interact with you. You may need to make a death run or use an invisibility potion. But you want to head up this path and go to the right, and the pebble is on top of a cave entrance. So this is really the easiest way to do it. Just hop along the side of this cliff, and yeah, you'll get over here and jump over. You don't need a water walking mount or anything, just what I use most of the time. But yeah, the pebble is on top of the entrance here, as you see my cogwheel. It's to the left there. Yeah, there you go. So right-click that, and that is your next pebble. So moving on, we need to head back to Tiragarde Sound near Kennings Lodge. The coordinates we're trying to go to are 7570. The path I'm taking now, I don't necessarily think is the best path, but this is kind of the first time I did it, so I wasn't really sure. But just, if you'd like to follow the same path, you can, no big deal. So just follow this cliffside, and then you want to get to this area with kind of looks like a glacier almost, or just some ice along the mountain. And there's a cave hidden behind some trees. Now, you need some sort of invisibility potion in order to do this one. You need it. You can't do it any other way. So Skaggle Drink or another invisibility potion, whatever you want to use, you need it. And the reason for that is because there are clatterbacks hidden in this cave. They're underground, and when you move over them, you aggro them, and they one-shot you. So use your invisibility potion, and then you want to go between the first two chunks of ice right in front of me, as you see here, those first 2 chunks in the distance. Doing this in first person actually helped me a good deal. I found it a lot easier. So you'll find the pebble between those 2 chunks near some meat. Click on it now. Be aware that when you click it, the potion wears off. So just be very careful when doing this. But invisibility potions are needed, and you'll see why right here. They jump out of the ground, and they can one-shot you. I just ran away from them, but they have a pretty big aggro range. So next up is in Tiragarde Sound as well. This is a waterfall cave. The coordinates are 80-19. And the way you got to get in here is similar to the one in Aram's Strand in Drustvar. You got to do some wall climbing and then jump on top of some rocks here. And then just get on top of there and then fall down and go into the cave. This is a cave you find all around Stormsong Valley, so it should look familiar to you if you've done those quests. And the pebble you want is on this, or under a scroll along this right pillar, right here, this long scroll. There are some decoy pebbles there to kind of trick you, but the one you're looking for is hidden well underneath this this scroll. So try to get eye level with it, and then you'll find it there. My mouse is on it now. So up next is a cave in Boralus. The coordinates are 1082. This one's probably the hardest one to find, only because it's hidden very, very well. You don't need an underwater mount or anything for this, it's just something that I like to use, but there's a cave hidden under this, I don't know, kelp? I don't know what that is. But just get into the cave, and then the pebble is hidden under some seaweed, or whatever you want to call that, near the pillar on the right, closest to the cave entrance. I'm going to actually cut the footage here because it took me so long to find, and I didn't feel like, wasting your time trying to show you how I was messing up the whole time. My general tip here is to get eye level with this this seaweed here, and you'll find it eventually. So my cogwheel's on it now, my cursor's on it, so that's where it is. And now we're going to head to the final pebble in this big quest line. So what you want to do is you want to set 3 waypoints, all for Zandalar. So you do /way Zandalar, 45.87, 3.78, and then another one for 47.7, -3, and then another one for 55.72, -10.21. And you will need a water strider or some way to water walk. I think that's the only way this is possible. It's going to take you a good few minutes to walk along all this water, but once you get to 55.72, -10.21, you want to use either a swim speed potion or underwater mount and get into this cave. It's along like the edge there, and then there is one pebble you got to get in here. It's right near the entrance, so click that, and then when you move into the cave, you can reset your fatigue if you don't want to die, but that is the last pebble you need to get. So after you've done all that, it's time to get Baa'l. And Baa'l is located in Draenor at Colossal's Fall in Frostfire Ridge. The coordinates are 62.22. Alliance has 1 flight path there. Horde, you could just use your garrison, Hearthstone, and you're right there. And then you want to move to the coordinates 62.22, and it's this half-open volcano lava pit thing. Once you're in here, if you have collected all the stones, you'll be able to see Baa'l. If you have not collected all the stones, he will not be there. Excuse me. You can walk on this lava, no problem. It doesn't hurt you. And this is where you need Una. So with the fully empowered Una, bring her out, and she will throw stars on Baa'l and remove his boss buff. Now, this is very, very bugged. I ran into a problem where I summoned Una, she did her dialogue, but nothing happened. And you need it to work in order for his boss buff to be removed. Otherwise, he is unkillable and will one-shot all of your battle pets. You will need at least 1 level 25 combat pet in order to kill him, but it is not a hard fight. Once you kill him, you get him, that's it. So yeah, like I said, he's bugged. It's really frustrating. All you can really do is either wait a while and maybe he might respawn. If you have the Gastropod toy, or someone has the Gastropod toy from Throne of Thunder, they can use it and run over Baa'l, and they will kill him and reset him. However, that only works if they are on this stage as well. It only works if they can see Baa'l. Another way, how I actually wound up doing it, was just look in Group Finder for any groups named Baa'l. Try typing Baal. That's the one I found, not Baa''L. Not everybody spells it correctly. You can also jump into the Secret WoW Discord. I'll put a link for that in the description. Those guys are, very, very helpful and actually helped me out a couple times. And that's actually where all this information is from. So that's about it. This is very bugged. My only tips are either Gastropod, wait a while, or find a group so you can get onto a different server shard. That's really it. All right, guys, I think that's it. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the comments. I'm always happy to answer. And this is kind of frustrating because it's so bugged. Hopefully Blizzard fixes it soon. But yeah, I think that's it. All right, if you like this video and you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments. Appreciate it. If you'd like to follow me on social media, I'm most active on Twitter. You can find me at SJCage. All right, guys, I'm Sweet Johnny Cage. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.